Welcome back to Limbus Company, Daily Mirror Dungeon. We're doing a little bit of a gimmicky run today, trying to make the use of, make more use out of Cavernous Wailing Sinclair, specifically pairing Sinclair with DHE Rodion to just have someone that's super tanky, and to see how much she can maintain her shield, because, I mean, it sounds like a pretty funny effect. I was hoping for something that gives resources here. It's fine that we didn't get it. Does anything here really benefit us that much? Not really. Yeah, there's very little good stuff here. I'll just go for Pendant Nostalgia, sure thing. Because that will apply for our Gloom people, and both our people are Gloom. So starting with Blunty Gifts, because it's something we both have. And we're using Grip Sinclair, and the reason for that is, if we take a look at Cavernous Wailing, it has a 1 Lust resonance or requirement. The Sloth and Gloomer is covered by DHE Rodion, but we need to use a Lust identity for Sinclair's sake. And his only IDs with Lust are Grip, and then I believe Talisman and Sank. Talisman and Sank only have Lust skill 3s though, and they don't have any Gloom or Sloth. Well, this guy's got a Sloth or a Gloom skill 1. So that's the vague idea. See how well this goes. We've also got some support passives that'll just make it so that Sinclair will maintain sanity. We don't want him to be low sanity here. So we've got this, you know, heal SP if you lose SP, and we've got this, heal 6 SP. So this way your sanity will maintain up, so we don't need to worry about, you know, something going wrong on that front, right? And our other goal will probably be get as many skill 3s as possible on Rodion, because if she discards skill 3s, that's how she gets a stupid amount of shield, because she gains 20% max HP shield from that. Yeah, so in case you're wondering exactly why Cavernous Wailing, so Blubber Bubble means that shield doesn't go away at the end of the turn. It means that shield is capped at 60% while you have it, but it means you'll just carry your Gloom over between turns. To carry your shield over between turns. I think I was having some strange trouble speaking there, but yeah. So that'll be the vague idea of our plan. We want to get rid of as many skill 1s as possible on Rodion because we don't want them. And while it is 3 Gloom per use of Cavernous Wailing, like, both people on this team have Gloom skill 1, so we can afford getting rid of some of them. And yeah, that's the vague idea. Hopefully it's simple enough to be understood. Yeah. First fight, of course, we can Cavernous Wailing, but there's not really a need to. We can just start out with, like, next turn or something. Yeah, the only caveat with DHE Rodion Shield is that her skill 1 does not discard. So if you want to actually discard a skill 2 or a skill 3, you kind of need to be, well, you need to use a skill 2 or a skill 3, or her block, which is always an option. It's one I don't, you know, like to use too much. But it is a nice one, that's for sure. Victory, cool. Our sanity's a little bit rough on Sinclair right now, but it'll start increasing because we should be... Are we fueling... I can actually check. Are we able to fuel both the support passes at this point to make it so he's just going to keep on healing SP? Because if so, that would be nice. Okay, we get the Rift Guards. We get Charge, Synergy, sure thing. Don't have quite enough Sloth yet. We might have enough... Gloom. Because yours is no 4 Gloom. Okay. A little bit more Gloom, a little bit more Sloth, and we'll have those support passives to make sure Sinclair's going to keep on healing up his sanity so much. And he'll still be clashing well enough, because it's Grip Sinclair. His skill 2 and his skill 3... His skill 2 still is a min roll of 12, and his skill 3 is a min roll of 18. Like, he'll be fine even at high sanity. Need to be a little cautious, I guess. Unfortunately, because his passive is active, he will gain half as much sanity from clashing and killing. But there's nothing we can do about that. We're not really going to spend any wrath on this run, I don't think. These guys are also fairly weak to Cavernous Wailing, so there's a potential use case there, I suppose. Don't think it's the biggest deal, though. The boss of this floor will be a great person to stack super amounts of shield against. For now, we're still doing perfectly fine. These minions do very little against us. But yeah, in order to make Cavernous Wailing into a mass tech, you need a high Gloom Resonance, though, which we can do, but we need to wait a couple turns before we can, is the only issue. Like, you've got a Gloom block skill, so you can always go for exclusive Gloom. You also have Rhyme Shake if need be. Costs a fair bit of Gloom and also Envy, but we have some of those, so should be able to live with that, I'd assume. Nice. Definitely need more skill 3s in you, because it's 2 Sloth per Cavernous Wailing. Just a little bit. Get an event here, cool. Not a very good ego gift, but it's something. We can always sell it or something if we so desire. Do we pass this? We do, cool. Barb Snare. We got a rest stop now. Do we want to enhance one of these? Temporal Bridle is nice to enhance, right? More benefits to our blunt people, which is both of our people. Yeah, sure, we'll get this to ++. Might as well. It's an increase, and because it's a blunt damage up to people with blunt skills, it does mean that your ego also gains the damage up, since it is a blunt skill, and it gains, you know, the nice stuff there. It's boss time, though, so it's about time we pulled out a Cavernous Wailing. And we're hitting you with it, so that's good. Yes, so it's... If we pull it up here, yeah. Applied Blubber Bubble and Shield stuff to self and one other ally with the least current HP. Effectively. So it should just automatically, without any resins needed, apply to both the people here, which will be very nice. We corroded it, actually. Okay. That's a little unfortunate. Corroded form only applies shield to Sinclair himself, so... Not great, that's fine. We need to give him some time to heal his sanity up, I think. We have Stagger plus Maril, though, so that's good at least. And you're blocking this decently enough. Sure thing. Heal some sanity, hopefully. Your passive's no longer triggered, your passive's no longer triggered. Okay. We need to get our Gloom and Sloth back up. Urgently, hopefully, to get your sanity more increases. It will probably... We can just block a bunch with Sinclair, actually. That's also true, since his block does give him SP. Yeah, and I think his block will make him take, like, barely any damage, so it's probably worthwhile to do that a little bit. Sure thing, we'll try it. It's just super nice in general, too, because it's combat start instead of actually needing to use... So yeah, he just healed 17 sanity there. And he's able to get a little bit of shield against the one-sided attacks going for him, so he's not taking enough damage to really be concerned. Good stuff. We'll keep on doing it to really commit to the bit. Yeah, a lot of sandy gain there, because he also got the Honglu passive sandy gain. Didn't get the Yisong, because the Yisong's passive should be active now. I think we're at 3 Gloom, or 5 Gloom. No, 4 Gloom. It's 4 Gloom for Yisong, 5 Sloth for Honglu. That's how it breaks out, I'm pretty sure. Well, we get Pen Nostalgia now, which means we can potentially get some poise going for our people, funny as that is. And that physically is nothing for us, because it only hits the 3rd and 4th slots. Pretty cool. Anything for resources? Anything at all? No. Oh, there's Grand Will. Okay. I mean, if you insist. I'd never say no. In a run like this, Grand Welcome just makes our life so much easier. We also could definitely get away with changing Sinclair away from Grip into, like, Mariachi or something. Which isn't a bad idea. And the Mariachi is still pretty good. For the sake of this run, that is. Yeah, we want a Rodion skill change optimally. We don't really want your skills to change at all. There we go, cool. Another skill 3 on you. A little bit less gloom, but that's fine. Travel within a flask helps out. Sure. That'll work. And we'll just take a path like this. Yeah, cool. Boss of this floor is always Shmi. Shmi is the only thing that can show up as the boss, which should be fine. Maybe we should have changed Sinclair there. No, we'll change him after this floor. It's not like an urgent thing, right? We'll be fine, I'm sure. Okay, you're getting a couple hits off on her, but that's pretty fine. You're neutral to slash, so that's good. It is interesting how, like, most of the super tanky IDs, I can't really think of any of the super tanky IDs that are actually resistant to slash. Most of them are just bad with slash. Or neutral to it, at least. Because, like, stuff like K-Corpong Lu, is weak to slash. DT Rodion's neutral to slash. His Vice, Gregor is weak to slash, I believe. Suncliff is weak to slash. I don't know, there's probably some random 2-star that's like a decent tank or something that resists slash, but like, tank units really don't. It was kind of part of the issue with the Blade Lineage event, was the fact that, well, you couldn't really, ignoring the fact that like bleed was going, there's basically only slash attacks from the enemies, but there's so little good tanks that resist slash. Now, there's a lot of strong like offensive units that resist slash, so like it's not that big of a deal. And soloing is just was kind of awful in the Blade Lineage event in general because Kurokuma guys love bleeding you to death. Rodion and Suncliff were the only ones who could really get around that, but Suncliff's weak to slash, so he was suffering there too, even though he's fine with the bleed relatively, because he can just counter a bunch. And Rodion, of course, can just delete bleed from herself with her passive. You get her 3 insight. You're almost staggered, that's not good. I'd rather it if you did not stagger me, just being honest. It's a little rude to stagger someone. Maybe you should think about that the next time you stagger someone. Got him. Cool. These guys are all dying. We got 3 excruciating studies this turn, so a bunch more sloth. I think we gotta focus on getting some more gloom at this point, since it's 2 sloth per usage of this. We're killing with these a lot too, because we got perversion, right? I actually bought it, I think. Which is really good. It means if we can get a kill with self-destructive purge, we also gain a bunch of resources because of how perversion works. Oh, ornamental horseshoe, sure. Random E.G.O gift. Because we don't really want blunt stuff anyways, because it'll probably just give us, like, lowest star or something if we do that. Not bad. More offense level stuff for Rodion if we can pass this check. Nice. Base Gregor for the win. It's not a lot, and it's fairly, hard to recognize it doing much of anything, but it is an EU gift that benefits us, and here's more resources, assuming Gregor can win this 50-50 again, and he can. Base Gregor is my GOAT. Without any doubt in my mind. He's just doing so well. Who could have thought? Oops. There we go. I'm kind of worried about you getting staggered. Could do shield gimmick. How are we looking on it? Decently. You're a very high speed. 10 speed roll is interesting. It's because of the increased max, but it's very funny either way. And you're weak to slash. You're taking some slash attacks. Only this one, really, but that's probably going to stagger you. Yeah, we'll do Cavernous Wailing here. Discard a skill 2 so you gain a bunch of shield of yourself. That'll be nice. Do you like how they're playing Rodion's animation first, but she's already got the blubber bubble? Don't know why they didn't just play the animation in the opposite order then, but... that's how Limbus is. It does all the calculations immediately, then shows them out to you in not always the most linear order. And if you manage to break the shield, you get a bunch of sinking, right? Not actually a lot of sinking. 4 randomly split between potency and count. Which is interesting. That's for sure. Don't think I've got anything to say about it beyond it just being interesting. Yeah, we carried that shield over here, so we're only discarding skill 1s. We've still got so much shield. If we just kept on blubber bubbling, we'd be able to keep on managing it, maintaining it. And it would have been really funny. But we're still early enough that I don't really want to do that, I don't think. Rather keep on building up resources and stuff. Mostly was just doing it to make sure that Sinclair wasn't in for an early stagger. Oh, I gotta keep doing the best in healing. We probably have Pursuance on Rodion, right? Yeah, we do. So we've got that for healing. Don't have a lot of Pride for it right now, since it's, 2 sloth, 4 Pride? 4 sloth, 3 Pride. I knew it was something like that. I couldn't remember the numbers. Don't know why I think it was 2 Sloth or Pride, though. That's just completely wrong. But it's only those resources. We'll get Grand Welcome soon, and then Pride's going to be so free for us. It's going to be... You have no idea, right? So that'll be good. Good stuff. So much shield. So little time. One more fight before we get to deal with Shmi. And the Shmi fight's a multi-wave one, isn't it? Isn't it a 3-wave? Is it? I don't remember. It might be. If so, it'll give us time to build it up, give us time to get enough Gloom gaming to be able to set up Blubber Bubbles, like, consistently. Because what, 4 Gloom Resonance and it becomes a 3-turn Blubber Bubble instead of a 2-turn, which means we don't need to do it every turn and we can instead do it every other turn. 4 Gloom Resonance will also be fairly easy because we can just block a bunch with Rodion if need be. And once we switch to Mariachi Sinclair, we'll be able to block. We'll be able to evade a bunch with him as well as an alternative option. This, I mean, that looks pretty guaranteed. Yeah. Looking at the offense level stuff, we'll lose some coins with Sinclair, but he'll win the clash and get more Lust resources, so that's good enough. And whenever we get Lust, it's good because we're not going to have as easy a way to build it up once we switch away for you, but it'll still be fairly easy to build it up since we'll have Grand Welcome at that point, right? You're getting hit a little bit, that's fine. Paralysis, oh no, what a scare. We're still fine. Stagger this guy because they're weak to blunt, cool. This guy dies, and you'll probably be able to kill someone with your skill too, if I had to guess. And if we can get a kill with Self-Destructive Purge, which isn't the most likely thing, because, you know, Sanity. Darn. Oh no, we did kill, cool. We triggered Perversion, so we effectively gained 2 Wrath, 1 Lust, and 1 Gloom from that, which is just pretty solid all around. The Wrath we don't really have too much of a purpose for, but I'm sure we've got some egos that it benefits having it. Fluorescent Lamp. Works fairly well since thanks to having Barbed Snare. Because is it... I don't know if Barbed Snare or Fluorescent Lamp goes first, but they have synergy either way. Stand Duty Battery is a good way to make sure enemies will keep on having Rupture and stuff, keep on getting buffs like that. Haste is always nice, especially if we are going to have Mariachi Sinclair. Having a way to actually build up haste with that will help out a bunch. Yeah, it's 3 waves, that's what I thought. That's alright. First couple of waves we can stall a little bit. Because we'll be fairly fine. Yeah, nice. Give us time to build up skill slots to be ready for the next one. And then we'll be able to start doing, you know, full resonance gaming. Do that, sure. Discard a bunch of stuff with the Excruciating Study. Although the shield is only temporary, so it's not as funny as it could be, right? But the Blur Bubble will change that. I guess if we want even more shield, we should try and see if we can get the Metro Polaris E.G.O gift. I forget its name. The one that gives charge there, right? The one that you get from the Citizen of Metro Polaris. So roll with that. Next turn is Blubber Bubble turn. We've been looking forward to Blubber Bubble turn this entire time. We love Blubber Bubble around here. It's just such a fun word to say. Blubber Bubble, Blubber Bubble, Blubber Bubble, Blubber Bubble, right? I sound like I'm going insane. I think I probably am, knowing me especially. Like, there's not a reason to do 4 plus highest Gloom after resistance. Yeah, so we're fine doing something like this. Although we should do something like this to discard the skill 3, gain a bunch of shield. Yeah, that'll work. Cool. This way, if we didn't do that stuff, the one discard would have gone to a skill 2 instead, which would have been a lot less shield, 10% instead of 20%. But thanks to doing it like that. Since, unlike the other DHIDs, Rodion's discard always targets the lowest skill, instead of the other two targeting like the highest, right? But here we go, we get the 4 Absolute Resonance, so we get the best possible Blubber Bubbling. You're still alive. You're still alive, that's fine. We're shielded up, we're nice and chilling. And Sinclair also gains 2 protection every turn he's got the shield thanks to his passive, so it's just really solid. Yeah, we can do this and we'll gain a stupid amount of this, right? Stupid amount of shield on you from discarding. Assuming you get those skills off, which you should. Sinclair's not going to do too much damage. He's not the highest Sandy, so we'll get a couple tails, like there, for example, but he's not going to get a lot of tails. You got a kill, though, so that's cool. A Moral Enactment should also do decently. This is one of the ones that's, oh yeah, that just killed, jeez. I guess the blunt damage that we have is going to be messing with that a little bit too, right? Sure, roll with that. Actually, no, roll with this. So we can get the Gloom Resonance. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to necessarily hit Shmi here. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you might be a bit of an issue. How's Sinclair looking on shield? I cannot tell because... Let's see. Okay, you're looking fine. I don't think your attacks will be able to do too much to us. We're neutral to Lust, at least. You're getting a stupid amount of shield here. You should hit the 60% this turn, if I had to guess. Without really much of a surprise to that, I think. Unfortunately, Sinclair's the one who's being attacked more. I think we're already at the cap. It looks more like 50% right now, but I guess we're at the 60% cap. And you're going for a little bit of attacks. You managed to break Sinclair's shield. Oh, you're actually attacking Rodion more. I thought you were attacking Sinclair a bunch. I guess I just misread that entirely, huh? Well, that's fine. It works better for me this way. Nice. Nice. And Blur Bubble Gaming. Is it only hitting Shmi? It probably is. No, it's hitting 2 people. That's good at least. There's more Blur Bubble, so your shield just keeps on getting maintained. You've got a couple of these this turn. Might as well go for it, right? Sure, we're not going to gain... We don't need to gain shield at this point, right? Once we're at the point where we've got 50% shield, we've got Blur Bubble, we could actually switch to Insight 3 shenanigans. Maybe if we hadn't got rid of so many skill 1s, we could have gotten to skill 1 spam shenanigans, and she's really nice when it comes to spamming skill 1s. If you're at 3 Insight, but not the biggest deal. We win. We win those. We get Grand Welcome. Cool. Random... I'll take the cost here, actually. I think I'd like it so I can upgrade some things if need be. I think I probably had something I wanted to upgrade, right? Probably. Nothing that interests me particularly there. Yeah, no, nothing special seems to be showing up here. I'll just take this floor. None of the rewards seem particularly important to me on anything. The remaining shops we have on the 4th floor, we're just going to entirely spend on trying to... We're going to entirely spend on trying to get more skill 3s on Rodion, probably, to really keep up with the funny. Yeah, we'll upgrade this so it becomes a 2 target. So both of our allies gain 4 poise, potency, and count each turn, which is nice, but Ornamental Horseshoe ++ means both our allies gain an additional 3 poise count each turn. So now we can basically maintain poise. We can upgrade Fluorescent Lamp, which is also nice. Gives us a bunch of buffs when enemies have Rupture, which they should have most of the time. This thing we can just sell. This thing we can just sell. Neither of these seem that worth upgrading, so I'll save the rest of this, I think. Cool. Yeah, we've got Mariachi on our team now, the best ID. The GOAT, if you will. Alright. We're gonna need to re-click you there, that works. We're giving more skill slots to Rodion because she needs them more. As long as Sinclair has 1 skill slot, he can E.G.O, right? So that's all that matters for him. And now we're just gonna keep on being able to tank. Weak to Gluttony, that's fine. You'll take some damage there. You resist Blunt, so it's not that bad of a deal. Look at our poise. Actually doing fairly well on poise, which is kind of funny. You also are a poise ID, so like you definitely can make good use of poise, theoretically. You're probably just gonna run out though, yeah. Let's go to Sloth Resonance for fun. We don't even benefit that much from critting. It's just a 20% additional damage, but like, it's a team where we can get it off pretty easily because of how well Pendant works for us, right? You're already at basically 100% crit chance. You just missed. Did you just get two 10% non-crits in a row, Sinclair? Really? Okay. Oh, so that was a little bit rude of you, but that's fine. Once again, easy fight, so no need to blubber bubble up. Blubber bubble bubble. You're just keep on saying the word blubber bubble is, you know, it's a hard one to shake off, but we do love that blubber bubble. What more is there to say? You get hit a little bit, that's fine. It's just big guy left, so yeah, cool. Kill him. He resists Sloth, he resists Gloom. Very annoying. But he cannot resist our fists for too long. Cool. Down goes their manager. Get an event. Carmilla's nice. Easier to stagger people. We won't be able to upgrade it in time for it to be worthwhile, so we'll have to roll with base Carmilla. They should have added some random, like, Starlight buff to make it so whenever you get an EU gift, there's a chance it's already, like, partially or maybe even fully upgraded. I think that would be funny. Or, like, imagine if there was a tier 4 EU gift that made it so all EU gifts, like, started out at ++, and, all EU gifts you had already get brought to ++, and all future EU gifts get ++. I don't know, it could be a funny idea for something like that. There's plenty of potential for them to mess more with, like, more mechanical affecting, like, ego gifts, right? Stuff like that. I mean, the pool is already so large as it is. I think it's fine to keep on adding more, like, filler-type stuff to it. Because the more EU gifts we get, the more stuff we have to kind of control what EU gifts you're going for. Right? Especially stuff like keyword refreshes and how strong Fusion is right now. Like, I feel like they can just add a bunch more random garbage ego gifts and it'll still work out. Sloth Resonance for the bit. I didn't even check who the boss on this floor is. I think the options weren't anything too scary. They're all stuff that I think we can manage pretty well. But we'll have to see, right? These Bailey Rollers. Unfortunately doesn't have any poise on it, so you can't keep on maintaining your poise count or anything, but not that big of a deal. We're doing fairly well on poise already. If we get like a Clover or something, just something to give us a little bit more count, because later in fights especially, when we've got so many skill slots on each person, the count goes down faster than we gain it. We're getting like pretty good amounts of count each turn, but it doesn't work out after a couple of turns of the fight. That's Bull, isn't it? I think so. That's fine. It's weak to Gloom and Sloth. And guess what we have, you know, a couple of? That's right, Gloom and Sloth. Coincidence? Maybe. I guess I can't, you know, say whether it is or isn't yet because, I don't know. Probably it's just a coincidence though, but it's a good coincidence, right? Cool, staggered that guy, you're getting hit a little bit, you're mostly fine. And you're weak to Envy. Both their entire team is weak to Envy, but that's fine. It's not a big enough weakness. Usually Sin weaknesses aren't that big of an issue to, you know, kill you. I mean, it very well can. I'm not going to act like it doesn't matter, because it really does matter. Especially for, like, when you're trying to tank. Solos, like, ego resistance matter so much. It's why it's cool having different Saiyan options for people, because even if it's worse than their default Saiyan, you can change their resistances up to start out with, which can make a big difference in certain situations, right? I'm not saying it's always the most helpful thing. Like, I don't know if there's ever any situation where you'd want to bring, like, say, Holiday over Body Sack or Heathcliff just for the resistances. Guess if you want, like, a Gluttony resistance. I don't even know what the resistances of Holiday are, if I'm being honest. Never something I ever bothered to use. Oh, Homeward, cool. A little bit of healing. This way we won't need to rely on Pursuance to heal up Sinclair. Oh, this will also be a little bit of healing and a little bit of cost. So that's good to see. It's a bull time, though, who shouldn't be too bad, since we hit the weakness especially. So on and so forth. I will pull out a Cavernous Wailing immediately, I think, though, start to get it built up early. Although you cannot get any funnies going, so that's fine. You're actually being... Actually, no, we're better to dodge here, aren't we? Yeah, this is kind of the better choice. Can you dodge the charge in? Looks like you can. Yeah. Sure thing, then. We'll roll with this. I was gonna set up the Blur Ball, but when I realized everything was going for Sinclair, I mean, we're kind of better off just dodging then, right? Assuming we had decent enough luck, yeah, this guy can do nothing against our power. And that's also a lot of poise count for you, isn't it? So that's cool. Not the biggest deal, but it's still nice to have. Yeah, now you've got aggro, because, you know, for some reason Marriage Sinclair doesn't have any aggro whatsoever. I guess his Corroded Cavernous Wailing does at least, so he's got a form of aggro nowadays. Can't redirect anything. That's fine, you can just one-side this, that'll work. Probably want to wait a Knowledge here. Something like this. This is hopeless if we do that then. Might be at 3 insight by this point. We probably won't be. That's fine. I'm okay with losing a clash. It's not the biggest deal. We could have just blocked, that's for sure, but we didn't really need to. Weight of Knowledge gives us a bunch of shield because we discarded like a little bit with it. Oh, we may discard a skill 1 though. I didn't think that through, did I? Yeah. I should have blocked. If I was being smart. That's a lot of SP damage for you as well, so a little scary. We get our Blur Bubble though. Love Blur Bubble, and we can do it again. We can get the Gloom Resonance next turn. We should be good then. Nice and shielded up. Okay. Well, it's gonna be one of these turns. That's fine. Well, you can chill with it. We can roll with whatever the game's throwing our way, because after this, we'll be basically set, I think. Have a bunch of Blur Bubble. We'll both be at 3 Blur Bubble, we'll have a bunch of shield. We can just go all out next turn, stuff like that. We should be doing good. Oh, that's an immediate Tails. I guess that makes sense. Luckily, we're blocking, because we've got the shield, but... Yeah, now I think we're probably pretty goated. Your sanity's not great. That's fine. Let's start out with the favorites then. Let's try that. Okay, cool. We managed to get all heads with the Weight of Knowledge and are chilling thanks to that. Nice to see. Kind of the worst tactical first. I had a feeling it was going to go first because of how speed shenanigans tend to work, but... We managed to pull through anyway, so that's nice. And we're discarding a bunch of good stuff, getting a bunch of shield here. Okay, we didn't win that, that's fine. You can take the hit. Your SP's not doing great, but that's alright. It's a thought that counts sometimes. Okay, this turn we do need to Blur Bubble again. That's fine. We can handle it, I think. Because we can do it like this. A little bit of this. There. Bam. Cool. And we got the 4 Gloom Resonance so that we can make sure it's the good Blur Bubble again. We're not really being hit nearly enough to warrant needing a bunch of shields, but it's still funny to have, right? You're almost staggered, so it's cool. You're definitely going to be staggered by this, then. Oh, the Panada party went first, actually, huh? Was it not? No, I was clashing with Cavernous Wailing, unless I accidentally redirected it. Well, that's fine. Would have been nice to clash to get a little bit of, you know, SP back from the situation at hand, but that's fine. Now... Oh, that's the wrong person. Do that. He'll be at 3 inside, I guess. Yeah, the Bailey rollers don't exactly do very much for us, but that's fine. Kill with weight and knowledge. You would have gotten to 3 inside had you used either of those skill 3s, but... victory. We do get more shops now, potentially more Rodion skill changes. Probably shouldn't have gone for coin attack boost, thinking about it, you know, for a second longer. But that's fine. Give me more cost. So we can just spam reroll for Rodion. This is actually pretty good for us. Yeah, sure. We'll take some Gloom Weak enemies, potentially. We might get Bull again, we might get Ardor Blossom Moth. Some stuff that definitely would be very bad for us. But that's alright. Part of the fun. Compression Bandage would be cool if it wasn't for the fact it's only to number 5 deployed. There's Coffee and Cranes. We don't really need it at this point. Rodion skill change, let's go. More of these, please. Oracle, we don't really need. Grey Coat's decent, Phantom Pain's decent. We'll save the rest of our costs so we can get another skill 3 on Rodion, potentially. Okay. We can just, this one you can just kind of throw away. Even if you fail this, you still get the ego gift, right? Yeah. So, Gregor, you did great passing a bunch of checks for us earlier, but you've been sacrificed. Probably should have used someone that wasn't going to be useful, like, at all, instead of someone that could have been useful for some random checks, like he already was a little bit, but that's fine. He was sacrificed for the greater good. That is Bull again, by the way. Okay. We're gonna have to deal with another one of those in a little bit, but we've got some normal foes to best first. Your damage up allies, you're gonna fragile you. That's fine. We've got that sloth resonance. Okay, we've got 2 tails there. That was a little rude. We lost a coin because of that. You're weak to blunt, so you're still taking a lot of damage. If you hadn't lost that coin, you would have just straight up died there, so... A little bit miffed, as they say. Yeah. It'd be nice, though, because if we can get lucky enough to get one more Rodion skill change, she'll no longer have any skill 1s, which means she'll only have skills that discard, which means her shield gain is going to be great. We'll have to get lucky there to see her again, because it's only a 1 in 12 chance she shows up at each shop, right? Or not at each shop, but, like, per reroll is what I'm trying to say. My headphones are cutting out here, that's funny. My mouse also, and Bluetooth being weird, I guess. That's fine. It's better now. This happens sometimes. Oh, I'll take a risky crab encounter. Like, I mean, seeing that, you know, Gloom and Sloth, and it just kind of, like, is like a, ooh, that's perfect. Kinda don't like you guys, though, so I'll do this just so we get a little bit of shield rolling. Just for safety, right? It's not the biggest deal, but we're gonna get mass attacked a bunch next turn, most likely, and we're gonna get a bunch of Pierce for. I don't see exactly who was being hit by the Pierce Fragility from the Mortar guy, but a little bit rude, especially given how Rodion is weak to Pierce. Okay, 1 each. Okay, so we'd both take 30% more Pierce damage next turn, and we're getting mass attacked a bunch, so the shield should help out a little bit. Okay, we can actually counter that one. Oh, that's cool. Okay, we were getting a little lucky here, so that's nice to see. I'm not resetting up the shield because I don't think we'll need it. It was more so a precautionary thing for turn 2, but we didn't even have to worry about the mass attack anyways, so that's good. We are being hit by a bunch of other random attacks, so like that's still something we got to worry about a little bit, but they're not going to do that much damage to us, I don't think. Even if we are fatal, even if you got a bunch of Pierce Fragility. Like, the shield's still blocking basically most of it there, it looked like. And they're starting to cannibalize each other a little bit. Oh. Yeah, there is a shield. That's fine. We inflict a little bit of, you know, sinking damage in retaliation, so that's nice. It's not a very strong effect, but it is an effect. The little 4 sinking you get whenever the shield gets broken. It is interesting that it could have been a more sinking-focused ego. I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have, like, a little bit more sinking on it than just, you know, a little bit when that happens. Like, it doesn't even trigger, you know, sinking fragment because it doesn't actually inflict sinking. It's only the status effect that has a little bit of sinking, but only under certain circumstances where the shield gets broken in time. And usually, you're more likely to just run out of count on the shield than you are to actually, it to actually be broken most of the time, from my experience. Of course, in a run like this where we only have 2 people, the shield's gonna get broken frequently just because of how many attacks were taken. But normally, it's usually not that big of a deal. I do wonder how good the shield is for, like, quad trio, right? Something like that, being able to have, you know, someone tank a lot better than they would have otherwise been able to. How does the targeting work, by the way? Does it tell you how it targets at least current HP? Okay. So you target people with low current HP, so you could theoretically try and, like, blubber bubble up the turn where they have setting up the assist things and potentially get some mileage out of that. Might be nice, especially if you... I guess issue is, like... No, actually, there's a decent chance of running Sinclair for the quad trio. Since, like... If it's in mirror dungeons, like... He's on a fairly decent bit of teams. If you're running, like, a burn team, he's obviously going to be there. If you're running a poise team, then, like, saying Sinclair has a pretty solid spot. And if you're running, like, if you're trying to beat Quad Trio in, like, main story, also, like, a pretty solid place for, Sinclair, since, well, you want a lot of good Pierce stuff, so you might have Sank. You also kind of want a lot of good blunt stuff, so you might have Grip, right? I don't know, Sinclair, it's good, it's a potentially decent option. You'll need to have actually managed to have the ego if you're doing it in the main story, which you might not have. Getting egos from random pulls isn't a very great chance, because it's a 1.3% chance per pull to get an ego, which is very low, that's for sure. It happens occasionally, but not the most likely thing. Okay, we've killed them all, cool. So we can get to our final shop now after this. More cost, of course, so we can re-roll for that Rodion skill 3. Okay, no re-rolls needed. You no longer have any skill 1s. That's pretty funny. Cigarette holder's nice, a little bit more power up. What else could be beneficial? Singing skills do more damage. That's nice. Star. Flick more sinking. Yeah, cool. We'll roll with that. I don't think there was anything I particularly wanted to upgrade here, so I didn't bother selling stuff, yeah. None of this really helps that much. Because, of course, too late for you. What happens when you upgrade L2's Snare? More damage? Sure thing, I'll upgrade that a little bit. Thorny Path, sure thing. Lust Resonance is never happening, but, it's something. Well, it's time to refight the bull. This time, a little bit more powered up. A little bit more goated, potentially. And we're gonna use kind of like haphazard usage of Cavernous Wailing since we can at this point, right? Might as well. Sushin instead is good damage. Could always Rhyme Shank if you want to really set up the sinking, but that's not the focus of this run. I don't think we need to, anyways. We're already going to be doing so much damage anyways that I'm not too concerned about that part. We'll do another random Cavernous Wailing next turn, and then turn 3 we'll be able to actually get the Resonance going, which means we can not use it turn 4 and still be fine. That's the basic idea I've got, right? Dominating that, Excruciating Study, both of those. You're getting hit by a pin down for a little bit of burn count, but that's fine. We're also at 3 insight, so we will destroy the burn. So you're going to inflict burn count on us, but like our passive triggers, and effectively it's as if you did nothing in the first place. Because I think Burn's the only debuff we have on Rodion right now. Hard to imagine us having any others. Because what does this guy do other than just inflict burn? I don't think anything. But yeah, Singo's gonna keep on crying in Rodion's dead. He's what a swell guy he is. Yeah, we deleted the burn from self with our passive. Cool stuff. I mean, I really want to do the bit. We're sacrificing a little bit in order to get the bit going, but it's worth it, I swear. We want the Gloom Resonance. Shh. For the maximum power, Blood Bubble. Right? He's gathering all the sorrow, as he loves to do so much. We're blocking, you're gonna do like no damage because we have so much shield. Did a little bit of SP damage to Rodion, but she can live. And then yeah, we can just dodge this. For the most part, we got hit a little bit, but that's alright. Now, we've got a couple excruciating studies this turn. Now, if we wanted to be, you know, smart, we would clash here. Like, what are you gonna do? Hit us? Oh no, we're gonna get attacked. What a shame. It would be a shame if it wasn't for the stupid amount of shield we have. We do not care if you attack us. We don't care if you get your little burning horns like impaled through our bodies. We will just frog it out and not care whatsoever. Yeah, as long as that's solid 400 damage. We've been doing well on sinking now just because of how much sinking counts there. And Panatapari just kills, yeah. Pretty awesome. You did 70% of the damage. Not surprised. Both Sinclairs did about the same amount of damage, took about the same amount of damage. That's funny to see. We did switch them around the halfway mark, but normally, if they were actually balanced IDs, Mariachi Sinclair would have had a higher damage simply due to being on the later floors, right? Well, that's fine. Mariachi Sinclair, he's the GOAT. He gets excused from, you know, his misactions from time to time, right? I think so. Yeah, oh, I should probably focus on the blubber bubble for this, because that was the star of the show. You know, just blubber bubbling up, cavernous wailing up. I call the E.G.O blubber bubble more than I call it cavernous wailing, just because I love the word blubber bubble so much. But yeah, and just stacking a stupid amount of shield on DHE Rodion is funny. I mean, it's so she can just maintain it. I mean, DHE Rodion with no skill 1s and 4 skill 3s is stupid just in any circumstance, but especially here. But anyways, that'll be all for this time. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!